One of the most common questions that I get is, what's the proper way to introduce a puppy to water? Well, that kind of depends on your situation, guys. If you have an older dog that's already good at swimming, already good at fetching in the water, well, then what I like to do is just kind of let the young dogs tag along with the older dogs. And you'll see in most of my videos, my Labrador Retriever videos, most of the time I'm just taking young dogs to the lake or the river or pond with me, and I kind of let them watch the older dogs run and play and fetch in the water, and they get the idea pretty quickly. Now, if you don't have access to some other people that have older dogs that are already properly acclimated to being in the water, well then look, the easiest way that I have found to get a puppy used to being in the water is just to get in the water with them. Now, I know one of the things that you worry about is, teaching your dog to swim, but guys, you don't have to teach them to swim. All you have to do is get them comfortable with the water. Once the dogs will go out into the water, just kind of the way that their body is designed, they have a certain amount of natural buoyancy to them, and if they start moving their legs, they'll start moving in a forward direction. It's kind of like little kids. Like you throw a kid in a pool and they think they're going to drown, and you're sitting around drinking beer and laughing at them, and guess what? They don't drown. They start moving, and then when they move towards the side, you reach down there and grab them and pull them out, and then they cry a little bit and they do that, and then all of a sudden you throw them back in. Well, after 3 or 4 times of that, kids they kind of get the idea, and they start doing what? They start doggy paddling, guys, and that's why they call it doggy paddling, because it looks like the way a dog swims. So look, here's Boss. Obviously, I have Henry, and I can take Boss down to the river or the lake, and I can just let him chase Henry around, and, for sure, he's going to get to where he'll swim well. But I thought, well, I need to make this video because people keep sending me these emails. So I ran right up here to my local park, and we've got a stream. And, if it's been raining, that stream gets a little bit of water in it. Not too much. It gets about waist deep on me, which is really not very deep on most people, but it's deep enough for a dog to kind of learn to swim. So in parts of this creek, I just took off walking, and, Boss was getting his feet wet, and then he got his chest wet, and once he got into the water where it was up to about shoulder depth, he just started floating. And so I just kind of guide him around with that long line, and he's floating, and then his legs start moving, and then I call him to me, and he moves to me, and then once he started getting the hang of it, I would just kind of let him get to going, and he would, he'd be a little nervous, so he'd try to get to that bank, and I would just guide him back out into the deeper water, gently going forward and backwards, just like I do when I'm introducing them to proper leash walking on dry ground. Okay, so don't overthink it, guys. Get you some waders if it's wintertime. Get out there and get in the water. Hey, and if it's not wintertime, just, put your cutoffs on and get out there and get wet with your dog, and before you know it, they'll be swimming like a champ.